For a transcript of this episode, training plans, and more, visit marathonsfortherestofus.com. Hey, I'm Coach Carl, back with another Marathons for the Rest of Us video. Today, I'm going to be talking about whether you should do speed work during your marathon training. And I know a lot of times with the questions we talk about in these videos, I say, well, it depends, and there's a lot of ways to approach this. This is one of those situations where I think the vast majority of people are going to benefit from speed work, and I think for the vast majority of people, speed work is appropriate for them during their marathon training. Now, I'm sure that there are examples of people who are particularly injury prone or have some other reason why doing speed workouts doesn't make sense, but I think for the most part, even if your goal is just to finish the marathon, you're really going to benefit from including some speed work in your training. Now, with that being said, I think it's really important to understand what I'm talking about when I talk about speed work, because a lot of times in people's head when they think about speed workouts, they're thinking about like all-out repeats on the track, on your hands and knees afterwards, throwing up in the grass. And that is not what I mean when I talk about including speed work in your training plans. What I'm talking about is really anything that's faster than your regular easy run pace. So if all we're trying to do is run faster than our easy run pace, it gives us a lot of options that maybe you don't traditionally think of as speed work, because it gives us a lot of options of things that can happen off the track and can be a little bit more unstructured. So some good examples would be things like post-run strides, some light fartlek running, either structured or unstructured. You can do hill repeats, you can do cut down runs. All of these in my mind count as speed work, but they're not going to be particularly challenging. They're not going to leave you dead at the end of it in the way that maybe some hard track sessions would, but they are going to have some really good benefits for your marathon training. And most importantly, all of these would be really appropriate for someone who doesn't have a background with any speed workout. They're very beginner friendly, both in terms of beginning speed workouts and in terms of beginning running. And I think that that's a really important point, because no matter what type of speed workouts you're going to be doing, you need to make sure that you're picking ones that are appropriate for you, appropriate for your goals, appropriate for your background, appropriate for your injury history. And so even though I said at the beginning of this, I think almost everybody can benefit from doing speed work, not everybody's going to benefit the same from doing the same types of speed workouts. If you're new to running, just including some post-run strides at the end of some of your easy days is going to be a great way to incorporate a small amount of speed work that's appropriate for you and appropriate for your background. Whereas going out and running all-out 400s may help somebody who's a very experienced runner with a lot of time spent building up mileage and getting stronger, whereas it would only lead you to get hurt. So make sure that you understand the difference between the different types of speed workouts when you're looking at options, and pick things that are appropriate for you and that tie in well with your injury history, your background, and your goals. Okay, so let's talk about why people should do speed work during their marathon training. And I want to start off by talking about people that don't have a time goal, because it may not be obvious why you should do speed work in your marathon training week if your only goal is to cover the distance and you're not concerned with how fast you should do it. The first, and probably the most important reason, is to make sure that you get a different training stimulus in your training week. If all your runs are at the same pace, there's a tendency for your body to plateau in its fitness. So by incorporating even very small amounts of running at a faster pace, it sort of gives a jolt to your body that allows it to keep improving, skip over that plateau, and respond to that new stimulus in a way that makes you a better and stronger runner. Now, the other benefit is changing up the speeds helps improve your efficiency. It helps improve your muscular coordination. Now, when we talk about efficiency, of course, we want to be as efficient as we can. Nobody wants to be wasting energy when you're out there running a marathon. And so if we can use that speed work to improve your efficiency, the great thing about that is that carries over to all the paces that you're running. Getting efficient through speed work doesn't just help you be more efficient when you're running fast. It helps you be more efficient at all your runs, on your easy runs, your long runs during the race. And so getting out there, like I said, even doing a little bit of speed work can be really, really helpful at making you a more efficient runner overall and help you get more out of the rest of the training that you're doing as well. Now, if you do have a time goal, it's probably pretty obvious why you want to do speed work, because you're trying to hit a specific time, you're trying to run as fast as you can. And so most people don't need convincing that they need speed work there. And you may want to include some more traditional types of speed workouts, things like tempo runs, track repeats, things that people tend to think about when they think about speed work. But one thing that I think is really important to make sure that you include is a good bit of running at your goal marathon pace. And if you think about the definition of speed work that I talked about earlier in this video, speed work is anything that's faster than your easy run pace. And hopefully your marathon pace is faster than your easy run pace. If it's not, we'll address that in a separate video. But assuming that your marathon pace is faster than your easy run pace, this allows you to get some of the benefits of doing speed work in, but it also allows you to practice what marathon pace is going to feel like. And that's really important on race day, that you have a good sense of what it feels like, that it's not something new that you're trying to do on race day, and that you know what the effort level should feel like, and also in terms of your legs and the muscles, how it should feel. And I think you want to approach that type of training, the marathon pace training, in two different ways. You can do some long sustained runs during the week at marathon pace. And when I say long, I mean anything from maybe 4 to 8 miles, something like that. But I think every once in a while, maybe about once a month, you want to include a long run that ends at your goal marathon pace. So you want to do something like 16 miles with the last 8 miles at goal marathon pace, because running goal marathon pace when you're fresh and when you're not tired is very different than running goal marathon pace when you're tired. And so doing it on the back half of a long run like that is a great way to practice that and get ready for how it's going to feel to run that pace when you're fatigued. One other thing that I want to note is, regardless of whether you have a time goal or not, and whether you're experienced with speed work in your marathon training or not, I think almost all runners can get most, if not all, of the benefit that they need from their speed workouts in one speed workout a week. I don't think that most people need to be doing more than one per week. In the interest of full disclosure, I've certainly coached people that do more than one a week, whether that's because of their personal preferences or whether that's because they were a very experienced, strong runner that could absorb that training, recover in time for the next hard workout. But I think by and large, you're going to do better to have one hard workout a week where you really put a lot of time and energy and effort into it and get the benefits from that, rather than trying to speed up the recovery, force the recovery, compress the recovery, and run the risk of ending up getting tired and fatigued and accumulating that fatigue over the course of your marathon training. Generally speaking, with speed workouts, I'm going to say that it's always better to err on the side of caution and do too few rather than doing too many. Now, on the same general topic, next week I'm going to be looking at the value of effort-based speed work rather than trying to hit specific times in your speed workouts. So be on the lookout for that next week. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, definitely leave them in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you soon.